$1 to $5 million. And it is here, no. It is a who said, you are nice. One time.
Nice.
One day,
Marty, with us, 020 898 4166 898 4166. Obama de na Friday, but also na fe ya no atimi aye adwuma ade abom e wo ye DwaboAse dwuma de ye so abusia na de ofre ye na oka bibi aso manya na ntie se enkopem se bia ye ba print out ballot ye papers no esane se dem akoda 18 omo ekọ akansie no ebi betwe omo ho afrim na ma jm na ma no assistant aye no kra information wey enya ba jm nya piki depending on second information wey jm nya piki enti afie me ka kire this for hello good morning if I told you this na ka free Jose Abu kasani ko what boy ma pa Nando kana ko ba Ghana ko hu se na 20 oba papa magana Nando de nkofo butu abama no ko mu so go mani mate medase pa 020 898 4166 020 898 4166 bomode na fre na so for adwen adwumadi achi anopa na ya ne enisa adwumadi emmomo 020 898 4168 hello good morning boko na so ai
when you sorry me ballot paper da me so ba na se me bomb ballot paper fine me sorry to on obi ba ko jama obi in fact mo tu jama bia obi e ko buta on boni paper to no boni mo bai bitu ma jama ma bitu ma nde bitu ma chena
nyangu mo kan obi so betimi afre 020 898 4166 020 898 4166 Obama de na ofra bejo so na fe wodo aje chabe bo hello good morning me ba cho di design aka se free okay now di design Haruna chire waje ni amfa no fe
ya ko ne se o se yo bo juma kasie pa o yango po nshira no na ana fani ya so den etatifi ko ana gana say ana atano ele mama be ni ani ya so den asa to edi ama ofo MPP asa be say company bi and me kan say ofo de be sa gana ska ema eye ene 50,000 no amagana economy e basa ana mama pa no be ni ana ku buy Akufo the most beautiful president in the whole Africa na ku macho munya education ye no obi hu say obi etwama and
that's it
na vote ni so no munya ni ye something no e be call something no mu educate am something very well yes
Marty, me da se pa no pay 020 898 4166 020 898 4166 020 898 4166 hello good morning
Good morning.
Me ba cho di design aka se free okay
Mo sempre am no be be we program so from na me do nsem bi why
okay Marty 020 898 4166 020 898 4166 fre ye nyina ye nkyere adwene e bi o man Ghana eduro no ehia ye beti hello good morning
good morning
me ba cho di design aka se free
Pacho midi amansa metata fico katama.
Okay, one come kasi so.
Me pacho onindidi.
I just okay.
The obi Ghana need to be sorry. Eko koto apatima MPP. And the name of the empire, baby, we go. Be a cohered, not just a ampasa, I can't say having me a bonsam, you know, not just a video call. Because not just a Nipan Casa, ADS in the bushes, a person cobble.
No, or say the amount, or say,
Nipa or say the amount, because Juman and not Robert, you are Ghana. Nipa that to be sorry, so only Yamipa or sorry, Yamipa. I mean, let's stop to me, you know, so I mean, the power of the Nkrumah could team what I'm an MPP. One of the most biggest way in the world. I want them to see a big and it says, you need us for a pass and never Ghana. I said, the neck Ghana, you want the Nkrumah. Me to about the MPP. Our brother, who should have the angels in one. Nanado and MPP who are coming on the crop on your man. I'm on my angels, I'm on your mo, and then I'm a year. On the punk of you pay who are gonna have because of Nkrumah, and I'm on here. That's a stop. Or 12. Then you know, could not so proper. And the young woman who started any so about
Martin.
Not a Jamaican one.
Ben, stop a paper no Wakano. That is a Wakano.
A national cathedral.
Yes.
The national cathedral where not your beer, you.
A swimming pool. A stagnant water.
It's Ghana for it is a pempata, I'm a man patamba, the woman is your mother. When you put up sorry, I'll go to South and Nipa sorry to South and we're on board near the $58 million.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
To me, you know, and you're not gonna acquire, and I say you buy it. And you're not paying Palm. Mamma. Now I'm from when be so much. I'm from when so much.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Wakasa Ano 020-898-4166 020-898-4166. I'm so bet me a friend. Now pay your team. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
The batch did this and I can say.
But a friend, I must tell you. The president.
Okay, so I didn't come. I won't come. Okay, so.
But your program, Mr. Pa. Why you had the papa and among us?
That's it.
I say, oh, Pia, who could make you over common and not for body. Well, I mean, not for a joker. Madame Ebra, Brata, bring
Send your man, you boy.
And you do. You got below that through the not a blue. The Codillo made that through the not a blue. I break. I ship you beyond you. They are one to a papa. John Mahama.
Medas 020-898-4166 020-898-4166 or Friday Johnson not fake. What to me they were adventure at the about said your more kind of why never salai why never so tunaba no dia ma eye Dr. Mamadou Bamia. Hello, good morning. Who did this anaka Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. David, I'm sorry, you're ready. Okay, 020-898-4166 020-898-4166 Fred, for a drink, Brad, dear Kumo, baby on my nedro, said ye ayehu, adiamo, my Ghana. Say ye, hello, good morning.
Morning.
Maybe I told you this and I can say free.
It's a question for the Tamale.
Tamale, okay, Chawaginian Company.
What for? Oh, say, ballot no Ukofono, Nkrumah, for man, you want.
I, Omania, and Okra.
Omania, because
you know, man, no, completely different number. No,
yes.
I follow you number one, no, the chair, papa, no, papa, no, the agenda, man. Oh, the agenda for you. That is a papa to sign on me.
Morning.
Me ba cho di design aka sa free here.
Metro, me popular, me also into me prefer me de me di SC kakra.
Also for kasani yanko.
Metro, me prefer amafo eti se omo voto edema baumia. Dia ebesi one baumia be intimidate close a lot of churches. They can't say baumia voto emana obe intimidate asofo bebre kura ahia omo be chomu e dia go ye friend say self ni omu anti one share number 2 they want baumia to win because one LGBTQ ni wenu he is the one who is coming to endorse it. And see, wait, Ayasana, number 2, and Yamadi Wa, Baumia, Edicana, or the Papa way or what dream party Magana or what dream party Magana. They catch the phone. Every to Edima Papa way. Ghana will reject more than another. Number 3, Baumia Eba. Omuga control Baumia to the extent. On one case, the policies crumble. He is coming to endorse Namadu Nyama Namadu and to me. There is no crumble. There is a question mark as to whether he can be able to complete the 8 years. Because a trick via the day in Nkrumah and Sana, the Nepana, a group of Nepana.
As of Majo, Chiawonka Kramame, or line a breaky, I might to be shut until was a minute. Yesterday, I watched Chiawonka Kranafe, Casamami in Pajo.
To say,
a Mudaho, Casamami.
Let's see. Almost sharing.
Minor 020-898-4166. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay. 020-898-4166. 020-898-4166. Mr. Ghana, Mama Yankasa, no pay Mama Yankasa. A pennyphone in it here, almost. Mum from Yao, Emna. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Me pa cho di ni sana aka safri he.
Kasa free station. Your family Joby.
Joby tashi trewa dwene enko e won komo kase so.
Please, there is something I've not been seeing you people highlighting.
Okay.
You know, this university that Mama built at in the central region or something like that, or western region.
Okay.
You have not highlighted it, so I want you to highlight it.
Is it in operation?
The law will go to boost what you people are doing.
Okay.
You see, they don't want to show anything. They want to hide some of these things. You get me?
Okay.
So please highlight that university.
Okay.
Highlight it.
Okay, thank you. Okay. 020 898 4166 020 898 4166. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. 020 898 4166 020 898 4166 020 898 4166. But more than a friend, also friend, and pay your kasa. Na yanko. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Maybe I told you this and I can free.
We didn't be alert to Adenta.
Alex Adenta, Komokasi Sunicha, what in Yanko?
My gent say, 10 years, Ghana, let me teach you could do. Bawumia, any bit me a bet was. Mahamo Nifi, Yamagana view. If you say, for the assembly mind, a baby MP, a baby minister, but the vice president, after the president. Nanado, you know, on premium, you know. The customers are there. Nkrumah look for Miamra. It sounds a woba, the court education. The party and Yamun pass off. Nkrumah and Sato will be a Yamu Chefa. Mama, about the end of the day, Mamma and Trinity, if you're my gun and you.
Bye bye. Alice, that's it. What's again, Chirano? 020 898 4166 020 898 4166. Ofra, you bet you are doing Adi Abuaj Medi, I my Ghana money. Good morning.
Hello, morning.
The battle didn't say that Boko on
Boko, your friend Joe, let him catch you go this time.
Joe, my uncle, Ewan Communication.
The say, Daumia, do damn no kind of why.
On ye.
No one a big Hawker say, why, or important a Guna why for Ghana, I assume. I didn't know I did the whole track. I say, then trouble man or that or that. Master, but we need to be the man Ghana mind. Education school is Ghana. Look, no community more for the Brewaha, or my post for maybe or my other four. But we need to make the Ghana and to Ghana for me and trouble my Baumia and to Mama, to a man only Medas,
so Medas 020 020 818 4166 020 818 4166. Also, but money and friend, and I pay a year my say our power 97.9. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Me pa cho di this na ka free
me did the Francis Asian capitulation because every exam.
Okay. And come on, kesi su ni kire wa dwen enko.
Yes. I am here everything no because I was for no market off.
I was
I didn't my friend no. And everything be up cutting off because for more this 20 years
I was here mom kwai no so mo beka omo niema bonni akoso no mo meda omo ho adi eti wo de kire wa dwen enko emre ni swami ni ampacho.
Yeah, because Okasa, my do how Monte assembly as no or Nini Obacano, number one befa, no more for drama and then on Intino or Mufra, Mokatu, because or money and Ghana.
Medasi,
Ghana put him as a motuma, yeah. The Ghana put him as a motuma, me, but people are talk of that, but never so for at the good Ghana, I say for everything to go by heart. The Ghana for
020 it has no again 020 898 4166 020 818 4166. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning. How are you?
Very well, yourself.
Pipacho, I'm watching into about Ama I in about me. Director. Me paucho bibli. And your President Kufuado never can say. But me in a memo back cranty. And ma and you over the blue or mano. No more economy and ordinary back.
Yes.
Economy no, papa, attitude economy no passa. Na me be said, Banche for ewa. The top banching, I say. But me a banching, I say. It's a economy, but economy. And I bet you city for city, fans of all this crowd, Mahama Meleso. Now, do 16 to 17 cities. 7, and yet we. Over to 14 cities. We do almost 90. 7, a day. Papa, we are from Ghana for. Make dear a day, my other car, and my make you. I will need glasses. And the penny crack and say, I your man was selling son or man betty. Am I in Trabama Bamia, Megamasi?
Okay, Mr. Medase, pa. I was a and your friend in our ABC. Aha, Obi our Jebre, yet I see you pass out to Argentina. It's me, Beboa, a Jumedian. I power 97.9 FM na TV XYZ. DwaboAse Jumedie, and you go so I yes, some more. Media and Obrempong. You're done and Waba. Not the Akagina, you're the Abba some more. Medase.
konkoya na trasa samaba na sawote konkoya na trasa samaba
ja sabre dia ye ba be ko ne ya bawuram eye memene dai wabra president John Dramani Mahama Frankatufo edema eye NDC amanyoko ni kopiem ewo eye enkrofo ensem bia okọ odekọ tutu dwa ewo big 6 ensensem ho ye wahanum an eye ebinum pese omo gi Dr. Kwame Nkrumah na juma obeboy edema oman Ghana adi free ni nsam me ne oka sei se wudu enzimane ne mpatem ba bia yetu oil na nkasa kura no a sabre mfasodie bia wo senka kro no nya no esani se ebinum anji Nkrumah niema obeyedi eni nti no wo ma bobondin abosa niema nyina agu enzima ahimfo bebere a omusu se even akwan kura ba omukuro mu no enya akwan papa abusa yenko hye Mahama wo bra no o kan nsem edi afa big 6 and sensem na edi ahim no so yenko tie nimra
embrace the vision of a surgical who must first dispel the divisive and needless debate that have recently intensified to try to obliterate his legacy. There are those who seek to dilute Nkrumah's role in our history as the nation's founder by introducing the idea of a big 6. Let me be clear and unequivocal here. While many far beyond the big 6 being bandied around played significant roles in the independence struggle, Nkrumah was that critical catalyst that brought the struggle to a head and eventually resulted in the historic liberation of Ghana from colonial domination. The so-called Big 6 were an accident of history and not a united force. At the time Britain was getting ready to give Ghana independence, the UGCC, which was the party formed by the Big 6, opposed independence. They actually sent a delegation to Britain to present a petition to Queen Elizabeth not to grant independence to Ghana. How can such a reactionary movement now claim the collective honor as being founders of our nation? On 7th August 1956, Kwame Nkrumah was Prime Minister, and he was moving the motion for full independence for Ghana, and the United Party, which was a successor of the UGCC, walked out of Parliament because they said they didn't want to be part of the Declaration of Independence. And so how can people turn around now and say that they collectively were founders of this nation, Ghana? This false equivalence, by elevating figures whose contributions, while important, did not match the transformational and radical leadership that Nkrumah offered for Ghana's liberation, must be rejected outright.
It is sensory, and President John Dramani Mahama, Frankatufo for the man, Elisa Manyokono, a year, many days, Chemi, Wakokai, one Crawford, Wabrani, former late President, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Nawada, na ode tutuga, se ebinimu hokura noa, sa fa hudie, Kwame Nkrumah ji ye, sa time no omo mpanifo a na nkomo kan hokura no, omo se enfam ho, wamo sori ja ho, Kwame Nkrumah ekokoden, na ebinimu eternity, no maboa, na omanga na etimi afa ne ntema pa bia afra no, wama nka ho bi, nanso enei, sa nipa kro na wamo guso gina ho, wamo kasa, adi akyere Ghana for say, wamo de omo nyini, se Nkrumah anebeji woman Ghana, eye fa ahudie fapem, adi si wo de ma yen. Obisa, wono de, enya de obeye na de sa, ba wo bayi, wo be ma eye Nkrumah ni legacy, watoa so, na ne, mechire wo de nti a, President John Dramani Mahama, oye na de, pepepe, ati se eye Kwame Nkrumah, ene, mechire wo, asen ma fi dwumadi so, yenko fa eye video bio, na eye President Mahama, ekasa, ediafa eye oil infrastructure, oil aye tu, ewo nzima, ene nempatem. Yenko tie sa video no, sempemra sisi a.
I remember in government, because of hosting the oil infrastructure here in Nkrumah, Professor Mills promised that we're going to invest some of the oil revenue to improve the social and economic infrastructure in Nkrumah area. And so we came with the oil and gas enclave roads, and we started to tackle all the roads in the Nkrumah area. It is just unfortunate that we did not finish before we left office, and a new government took over. And my understanding is that most of those roads have been abandoned, and the whole oil and gas enclave road project has been stopped. Nana Awulaimo, I want to assure you that a new NDC government that will come in January next year will resume the oil and gas enclave road so that you can have roads that are befitting of an area that is hosting a very precious asset on behalf of the people of Ghana. And so you can be sure that the roads that you mentioned are roads that we will consider a priority.
The President John Dramani Mahama, Anna Oshebo, Kachre Nkrumah, Ome one Zema say, Oba, Yakupon Yanadum, na Afie, said the Senate Fata, Yade 2 million money build ya, Obetrasia, Wabeba Bomodiashe, say Oyila Yetun Waho, and it said your Marquine, a be Ayabasa, na Bibi Biara, Entimi, Ensha and Cosum Femono, or no President John Dramani Mahama Betraswa, Obebo Moding, na the Senate Fata and Nkrumah. The set never ta Nzema for a son say, Ho, Anna, you two, you know, Wabomoding, Nafi, what did the set never ta at the Amomo. Yaguso. Okay, it is second video. I hear from some almost Siam Ama and a response or the Mayano. My friend to not young cautious video in Nimrana for enjoyed media. So
that you and your team would have passed through the road from Telekubu Council to Enyinasie, from Saminye to Hapasni. Last 3 days, I passed through that road and I was asking myself, is Nkrumah really part of Ghana? Now, this is a district which possesses our oil, but the road network linking Saminye to Hapasni is in a deplorable state. Now, the road network from Telekubukazo to Takwa Junction is in deplorable state, His Excellency. We are appealing to you. Nkrumah deserves better. We need good roads. We need hospitals. As I'm talking to you, Nkrumah as the birthplace of Osadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah cannot boast of a modern hospital. Don't we deserve a modern hospital? Because this man has really fought very hard for our independence. And he's the reason why we are here today. If Ghanaians give you the nod, this is our appeal. Nkrumah needs a modern hospital. This is the cry of the community of Nkrumah.
One Nkrumah, a one Zema, one Samoa, Wabrana, President John Dramani Mahama, Tiwa, no, Niomo, Ekodi, Shiamono, Omo Kachiromono, or see Anka Kroa, a woo, first president of the Republic. Our dinner cry, now who are the Nyansa, Ebebuamia Jif, Ahudie, Edima, or my Ghana, Etinka, and Senfata, say a name Mubabia Yadri, and Nkrumah, and Nkrumah one Zema, Omuni modern hospital, we are Eo Chronoso. Anka and Sam Fatana. No more Quayati Pro, upon some anti President John Dramani Mahama, almost Sereno. Say, I fear Oba no Bayama Payina, Omo in Trinity, na Omra the people of Nkrumah and Nzema Egina. Ebicha, ye took Akosu straight enough, Yane, Yay, Pania, ne, Yanin Babedin come out studio ha. Na, or ye political activist, a sign Nkrumahist, Mr. Yao, Asini. Tano, Yansen Commodie Nasia, na ene, Kwame Nkrumah Dimo, Anna, Yadetia, opening me Wakwaba.
Josomania.
The Bachelor of Poem to sing. Nice one. Asani. Okay. Yao, Asani Tano. Okay. na bibi aboko de
Onyame adom ehira nko a nyame adaro ma yete asidi efi say ye won kwan de ye wade
yerase
nti ye beto akoso aye de ese ye na magana etumpo
sa pepepe okay ye nim o my Ghana ha abofra opanyini obi aka obi ebisa hwan no je fa hodie edema o my Ghana eye Kwame Nkrumah din ana obi abo nanso na biri amene odi kasa yi enkrof ekuo bi abo modin aye say sa asem a eye nokre na da ho no ebi no pese omo yi sa asem yi fi ho why Nkrumahist why political activist the bacho ene ye nin komo kakra emfa eye Kwame Nkrumah Dr. Kwame Nkrumah
Menua medase ma mefa kwaye so nchia production team wankasa na atiefo so ne adwuma ko faribai the TN say Kwame Nkrumah no on say there was this slogan of Nkrumah never dies.
Yes.
And indeed Nkrumah never dies. Sincerely speaking, say enne Nkrumah ewu ye mfie dodo atwam. Eno krompo na okobɔ ne din bɔne a na ayasem. Nti it truly tells us Nkrumah never dies. Na the TN say Ghana ayi hunu sa no na enti sa de ati. Eye Kwame Nkrumah ene pam Ghana. Cause amre no na ye wo 6 regions no. Na ye nyire nim say Northern Territory and Transwater Togoland no monka the main core of the Fresh Gold Coast no monka. Okay. Enti Kwame Nkrumah ni nyansam no hu say ye ko agifa ho de dia. Ehun behia say sa bia to say Transwater Togoland and Northern Territory na amount for this identity more or less they were independent of their own, a colony to German and a friend say English abroad. Inti na say ofa ekwan bi so obeka ye nyina abom. Inti Kwame Nkrumah of course see ati ase say ansa na ye baje fa hodie no ye won krofo a omoboa ye. Enye say Kwame Nkrumah kwantin kro no gina ho say menko amaje fa hodie it would have been impossible.
Yes.
Emma eka ho, emma ka ho, ahemfo ka ho, asofofo ka ho. And you see team kura ye de ball. So wokoba I can refer you back into the 60s. Ghana, AJ, AFCON, several times. I think about 5 times. ABC Sampen Besuya NGB. And you never compare no ball. But your captain, a big crop go one shebi. But at the end of the day, so we call 1968. Now so we be say why the lady blaster more moje cap ma Ghana. You be boni pakroni.
Yes.
Until nobody can sit somewhere and say. Kwame Nkrumah is not the founder of Ghana. And indeed, when it comes to football team, no selection of players, and then acquire political, due to their political influence, no. Otherwise, no, coach in a power nesi hono. On na wa call as scout wa say, we if you have a bobo a house of folk, we ball kotoko, we ball your friends saying bofa kwatano. Sanko fwe na mabinko yi wo mo me ko hwese de omusi bobo. Na omo a omunimbo no makomo abom e dia for me Black Star, right? Enti ya no kropo ye beka se coach ni nko a e no form sa team na e bia omode akwaje World Cup no. Enso coach ni yen kai no. It is the captain that led them to e bia omo winning a cup and ye beka no. Kwame Nkrumah de no, it was unique in the sense that say Kwame Nkrumah did not fight for independence only for Africa for Ghana. But say ye can say ene ye te ye vote who is the father of Africa? Ye ni BCC ya. But you can say ye vote for who is the father of Africa. Ye nsa Kwame Nkrumah honko vote ma obia.
Father of Africa.
Father of Africa.
Wow.
Yes. Ye vote nkoma obia apart from Kwame Nkrumah in the sense that Kwame Nkrumah ji fa hodie ma Ghana no kaye ye nyina ye nemsem say the independence of Ghana was meaningless unless it was linked to the total liberation of the African continent. Why did he say so? At the time of war independent no na Mugabe mone kaunda mone nyayore mo they were being trained in Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah Ghana was arming these people to fight for independence. Woma omusika enti eko omokwe gorilla fighting nyina no Ghana na sa bia nyina Lumumba mo nyina ombesuaye. They did not come as individuals. They brought their fighters to be trained by Ghanaian soldiers in the jungle warfare. Right? And to be forced to Pam Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana Hano. Now about 37 African countries had been liberated.
Wow.
To the point itself, Ye palm now obedru Guinea no. Na Kwame Nkrumah Africa no. Na about 40 something had been liberated. They have gotten their independence. Now South Africa apartheid. And Rhodesia, your friend Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, ne sa areas. And it's a year to about say when a founder of Africa, as a father of Africa, because of Kwame Nkrumah. Now say Bagana there. There's no contest. A Bagana. There's no contest. J.B. Dankwa and co. were the people who instigated Kwame Nkrumah's ousting. And let me say it on record, say, Africa yen to me and united. Africa yen watching yesterday say actually it is as a result of one single family, J.B. Dankwa and the Furiata family. They are the core people who derailed Africans' unity. Because already a committee back, that was the reason why you see Job 600. Nkrumah built the Job 600 to host the African president because of the Organization of African Unity. Now, Job 600 was seen as a state building. A bedroom the property owning democrats for so a year UP for bedi more recently.
Yes.
Yeah, be host to AU meeting or half for 1 week. We see a dying la wireless or la for assassin craft for assassin. So be better to a background MPP and young craft for. What Jane craft for assassin or la wireless and we see a dunch and challenge whole just for 1 week meeting.
Wow.
Almost and the Omokra Chrysler cast. I remember very well Chrysler 300. If in an basso fresh power. Omokra be brainy other cast no more buy. Yeah, meeting 1 week. Go and ask today, say, a dano, one mona, a yomodia. Nkrumah didn't see, and it was for the state, and it's still for the state. But when we watch after. Now, Kwame Nkrumah, a Pam Ghana, what did Transwater Togoland, a first and Northern Territory count, 1 year there was a referendum. Say, ye Kwakwaji independent, but be a reajawi. Transwater Togoland, ye Baba Tuaba, Mopesa Mokai, one as a Mompesa Mobekayan. And they voted yes to join Ghana's independence. Nkrumah BBA or in a democratic manner. Nkrumah one party state or institute one sorry keke and cancer soldier form for TUC will be so there be referendum. And Ghana for eto yes say yenya one party state. And what was the reason? The reason was that so what did the word Veranda boys that?
Yeah.
The Veranda boys came from these UP people. Describing the CPP for say omu ni nimdie for wo na a Veranda boys no masesa omodidi juma. They were illiterate. And I'm panso people who made up of the CPP were mostly illiterate. Form 4 ne sa no those days we do form 5 say you were ogakra. Enti sa nkrofo no ene ye de omo chichire Ghana. So what did be say friend say DC Kwache, yeah. So what he did that?
Yeah.
The reason Akwane Benya fame Ghana, they say, he was a complete illiterate once in the classroom. Now, because of the popularity, we be now will feel or that area. And Crawford time a bus here to a district executive, chief executives no, or no na your power no. Or name you,
Uncle Scooter.
There be on your power no. Na your power no so Juma obedi no. He endeared the love of Nkrumah. Enti Nkrumah Juma dia bia so kodi wo me bia bi no so ma DC kwache o no Uncle Scooter. So what brofu be a friend wooden kwana.
Yeah.
Kotokra they do. Ono because brofu no want to mean can. Enti wo be improvise. Ono na wo corner say wo kogina Nkrumah nam aye bibia wo say Nkrumah cannot division himself into twice. So I am standing in his leg to open this pipe. You see, they were selfless. And so the UP were describing them as Veranda boys. And Kwame Nkrumah's idea of bringing together, coming to form one party state was for a reason. Papa was a friend, he was a UP person. The neighbor come. You as I go along, the day will come.
Okay.
Osman several times say, check from your people, the UP, because Nkrumah no Omoye Jumada. Who could best fit as my vice president? Anytime Obesuma Papa no abe point to JB Dankwa. But Nkrumah had known JB Dankwa very well. Nkrumah was a philosopher.
Okay.
And he was someone who used to read people power beyond what they think the person is. And Nkrumah consistently, or didn't by a sample, Nkrumah consistently told the man, say, JB cannot fit to be my vice president. Consistently. Now Nkrumah koye no, or by the next election, no, they were going to vote for him to have a vice president. So they be utu kwanya nkofo a ombehwe na chibibia. Now when are you before no? Anti as you say, you forming UGCs. In fact, you forming as an yakofa aba. Yakofa wo buy no. Wo kai wo de ba nyina ye tua ye. Wo buy no aba ma wani atra wani nto. Now why did it happen that way? Because obeto say nkofo no they had assumed an elitist position. The downtrodden and say grassroots no, they can't go close to them. They were always in suit omonsanka omonanka obinkoye na omonjidi. This is what they were doing. And don't forget, all these people, JB Dankwa and Kono, they were being funded by per grant. Into JB Dankwa, Akwaje, Oforiata, all the people who made up of the UGCs,
yes.
They were nobody in terms of financial capacity. It was per grant who was funding them. In this annual Maya, Moya, Nkrumah, Ghana boom, I bemani gentre how even the diaspora. In fact, any agitation in the Americas, a sorry because Nkrumah went there to school, he went to Britain to school, and most of the meetings for the African diaspora na Nkrumah account. African celebration na Nkrumah account. Until you invited no buy, na otumebe jifa hundie magana, the people saw that the black man is capable and part of managing his own affair. Into the agitation in the United States rose very, very, very vehemently. And now, Omunyina also by supporting Nkrumah, Muhammad Ali, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X. Talk of all the guys who were fighting for liberation in the diaspora. Omunyina Bagana to come and hail us. Until you hold say, yes, we can do it. Until Kwame Nkrumah Ochichire, now all Africans to liberate themselves. He endured the envy and the hate of the CIA. The CIA used JB Dankwamo to thwart the effort of Africa coming together.
Wow.
In the sense, if Africa had come together in the 60s, right, and can we, Africans, have the power, the capacity to, as it was, impose sanction on the United States of Africa, United States of America, we would have been more powerful than the United States of America in the sense, so what kind of resources are? We are superpower. But they confuse our people, they induce them to help them to loot our mineral resources away. And Nkrumah had told them, say, there will be a serious neocolonial mentality if Africa does not unite, and it is happening. And indeed, he mentioned about bases that may be built on the African continent by the United States. Are happening. Ghana, there were US based. Nkrumah wanted to fight all these things off. He wanted to eliminate colonialism completely. And no cancer, so neocolonialism will come and take a center stage, and Africa will suffer. And that is what we are seeing. Until Africa's downfall, Ghana's downfall, in Futura Dokriya, a fee in friend saying, got a moya man, JB down Kwan the Busia for. They thwarted the effort of Africa coming together, and they thwarted the effort of Ghana becoming a state-of-the-art state. In the sense of Kwame Nkrumah, in his own words, said, there should be no need that a Ghanaian or African will be found wandering when the person has to look for a place to lay his head or to look for a job. Because already, Nkrumah had put the necessary infrastructure in place. He prefabricated concrete factory. Actually, said concrete, slabs. It is a basi sit down and one say yes. Also, COVID by Japan or Mutumi, is it China or Japan? One of them. Or more than just 2 weeks. It's a 6,000 bed capacity hospital. Why? Because the prefabricated concrete slabs were there. Until anyone said cranes in within the shortest possible. Into this particular book, the 7-year development plan, now Nkrumah has stated in itself, we could build 200 houses every month. Then, other you need technology machines say no. 200 houses every month. Every month, 200. So you can imagine if sa idea we echo so already. Tema community 1 to 10. he had built it. Nkrumah, I can tell you on authority, say, was he dying at Nkrumah about 35,000. I want to be accurate. 35,132. 35,132. And this 35,132, no, Tema community 1 to 10 comprised about 19,000 and more. 9,000 and more. And then across the country, so we'll see about 19,000. And every region at the time got their fair share. Apart from that, because we had 6 regions, was setting up industrial site at every region, right? And Nkrumah came to liberate the whole of Africa. But for this particular family, and when you talk of Nkrumah is the founder. Nobody, even though people died, Nkrumah is the founder of Ghana. Nobody can take that thing away from him, no matter what they do. And Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, he's suffering because when he came, he launched an attack on Kwame Nkrumah. And the spirit of Kwame Nkrumah, you cannot challenge it. Every country is built on a particular spirit. And that spirit of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah ne nkrofo mo chichire Ghana bomu, omo no munim baby a fapem no esi. Sa monument na esi the independent arch na sa ensese wo kekewo. Into anything you do to Kwame Nkrumah's legacy or image, no, it will come back to follow you. Other African countries are studying Kwame Nkrumah. Other countries in America, they are studying Kwame Nkrumah, his philosophical thought, etc. So already conscientism, the book not trained one, you'd understand why Kwame Nkrumah is who he is today across the globe. That Ben what you say, JB Dankwa, birthday be about your celebration.
Yes, celebrating.
Does he have any place I can say, quack of visitor because of JB Dankwa? No, none of them. And Nanado came trying to dissipate the image of Kwame Nkrumah. Nanado, you are the only president in this country, and that's the only person, you yourself and your cohort, your family member.
Yes.
That family is the only family in this country. They have 3 of their people's head on our currency.
Yes.
Yet they are not satisfied. What kind of greediness is this? Monkwa the whole Ghana Mobusiano, Nipa miensa and Omuti where your currency, so even though you don't deserve it. Oba Pabaya ceremonial president or Ghana form tall. What I say a Furiata Nipa Pabaya finance minister on your say Ghana Kojo, the same 2 people have come and look at what they've done to Ghana. Intiminia, don't let anybody deceive you, sir. There were other people apart from Nkrumah to become founders. No, it is never like that. Kwame Nkrumah is the sole founder of Ghana.
Mr. Sani, so what you're celebrating Nkrumah year or my Ghana and when a brow bebo my
We have not. Come to think of it, she said, Kwame Nkrumah, a brain more journey, say, you hear energy to industrialize. And you will see a Kosombo Dam. We inaugurated dam on 21st of January, 1966. Ya so kania no Kosombo ya ko so kania no 21st of January 1966. 24th of February 1966 ni apam no wa magana biem. Can you imagine? And if you look into the 7-year development plan, in one man who actually share go how what the Kosombo Dam ne be ye. And can Ghana, ye best supply almost the whole of Africa, aduane. In one man now Kwame Nkrumah the Kosombo Dam na share, it was not just the Kosombo Dam now was he was going to build mini dams along the route of the dam. So the best serve as power plus irrigation system for the northern part of the country. It is so painful as it is. In fact, 3 days and son will be Ghana. That was 19th of January or so, 1966. There was signed agreement to irrigate the Accra Plains for food. Accra Plains and Oma encroaching. There's nothing there to show, say, and can bet to me as food basket for Ghana. Oma encroaching was a sit down as a hopoto. And to Kwame Nkrumah, we have not celebrated him. And I'm looking forward to a president of a bar. Sabi you, Obeka say, Yan ton and makum say be a 200. Yan ko slaughter munina wo Independence Square. Na yan fam pacify yansre. Look, and more be an kasi yabusom fool. Nankopon in shishem no bo ni wiase no. What boss say Chinese for munyami among father so intina yempaying for boo baby say. So what pass about catching young people catching from enti yamen wabo abas as so dear. But there are mediums through which he asking you to serve him. Enti Japan for any Chinese for work kwan omo for omo so omo kwan so omo yi Buddhist name ho munina Hare Krishna ho munina. They are there. I'm looking for a president who will come. No, say Yakoto Nentwie base 200. Yako Independence Square. We are slaughtering all of them to pacify the spirit of Ghana, the spirit of Nkrumah, to release us from this bondage and for bar, Kronon Kwan or Boya or Monya de Papa. Nkrumah wanted to challenge your friend and say, Britain, our colonizers. And why? He saw our development. I think one of his speeches he said it. He says, we must see our development as a challenge, as if we are playing the final World Cup with Brazil, right? Which meant that the Oko who Britain or Baba the same thing we're gonna create BTOMO. And no sense can say we would develop this country within 10 years and show our colonizers that the black man is able to, can be able to manage his own affair and do what they couldn't do in a century within 10 years. The documents are there. Enti Obaye no motorway now who Britain, the British almost first motorway. Was here built same in Ghana. And in fact, they no besi akrate motorway no. It was of more quality than that of British. Their first motorway. Yes. And you obesi sa motorway no. The motorway was not supposed to have ended by the end year no. It was supposed to have gone through a Lubo. It was to connect all our neighboring countries, Burkina, Ivory Coast, Togo, Benin. Now, railway, so no, it was to connect to all the West Africans, now African into the hinterlands of the other African countries. Because now the priority, they say, the Congo Basin should provide energy for the whole of Africa. Until Anka say German Transkakra, Anka he was going to build the biggest dam in the whole world, Anka Obian to me, using the Congo Basin. Wow. For irrigation purposes, for everything that we need. And don't forget, there be a Nkrumah are not bringing their mind there. Water lake near Dahosano. Say fish woman ye DNA. Fish ne woman. And yes, a year water can a fish in fish so be Kwame Nkrumah set up a fisheries committee. Said they should look out for species I bet me grow a water lake anymore. And the junior ye who a water lake anymore and neno. The biggest fish pond Kwame Nkrumah created. Wow. And generations today, our mo a big pond take Kwame Nkrumah didn't know share from. Nema Mary and Nemfi Frauncio no more. He is tasting the food or the fish that Kwame Nkrumah envisaged and put it in that dam. Go and check the records. Nkrumah Maya setting up committee to look into fishery, fingerlings, ahoro, different species, any FD dam. And now, no can say that project could have still been going on. We could have still been a Nkrumah fingerlings, no, easy to do. Unlike Nkrumah's time, now technology didn't need too much. We could still be feeding water lake, you know, with different species of fishes. In the last 1 million years. Nobody, Ghana, it's just a baby so. It is the biggest fish pond ever, but nobody's taken because they have not read the records. Me, Sankame wa bem, na me wa Greek sector. Me making sure say a best setting up committee. A Juman one say, mon ko other amounts or more fish different. Even Ghana here, na yem breedy and fangu fraunimu. It doesn't matter who will catch them. You be breedy agum, you be breedy agum. Juma ya beya no sa 10 years 20 years Juma ya beya no. Wow. In the next 100 years 1,000 years people who are unborn they will still come and see say the fish is being produced by the water lake because but nobody takes his mind there. Aquaculture and the idea so meanwhile that big thing you can feed them and we will make so much money out of it, right? So Nkrumah was extraordinary. We have not celebrated him well, and like I'm saying, we should pacify his spirit. Because no more she share ya pound no or ya one maybe no. Ya chain be beer. To some in Fansanka Wawoba, near Begina fluence by force. We you know my be you or more fluence by force. wobɛdwenya anti that adeɛ no a trauma na ɛba Nkrumah so no ɛno na ɛhante yɛn no
Mr. Tono nanka me ba ho there is a saying say ɔman a ɔnhɔhɔ a ɔmo ɛde ɔmo ho ato hɔ agye ɔman na si hɔ no saa country no ɛyɛ na obi ampɛ sɛ obewu ama ɔman no bio osusu sɛ saa nneɛma yi a sisi a ɔhwɛ nidie a Kwame Nkrumah nidie binom pɛ sɛ nka ɔmo fa na ɔmo de pepa fam no ɛno ka ho bi ana ɛyɛ nneɛma nkɔ so yi ɔman Ghana because sɛ obi ampɛ sɛ ɔde ne kra ɛbɛhyɛ da ato hɔ ade ako ama ɔman no because sɛ wohwɛ obi ti sɛ Nkrumah abrabɔ ɔbɛba na yɛyi ne mu na yɛnyine ɛno ka ho bi ana ma saa nneɛma yɛkɔ so ɔman Ghana mu ana
media ɔbɛtran kasa fidie so na sɛ ɔka sɛ spiritually no those things are happening ɔmo wabɔnte no dodoɔ 99.9% ɔmo ngye wundi but that is the reality say the way yɛyɛ yɛ nneɛma basa yɛyi Kwame Nkrumah fi mu even honoring him has become a problem to the point say 8 years on this government has fought Kwame Nkrumah's ghost for nothing for wrong no done by Kwame Nkrumah forgetting that whatever it is that has happened to this country no sa abusuano mama nkyerɛ bibi
I'm say 2 Ghana cedis say that yedi Nkrumah jai Omejai they Kwame Nkrumah ti da so
yes any other currency are not ni nyina I see all these things were done to siphon monies out of the system omo twa sika no they got their profit out of it sika no yetwa dollars bossa na bekwa ba no na omo ankasa di senator dollars na omo de akosisi right now one Guinea any other countries in fact even Russia almost stamp na omo those days mo de ebi am susu akakra but ye trolleta near the stamp
yes
yo Russia kura no omo was stamp Kwame Nkrumah tin da so almighty Russia yes na Kwame Nkrumah tin da so you see let me tell you this secret Kwame Nkrumah was the most fearful president ever in the history of the world and that is what we should have celebrated. JF Kennedy was one best friend of Kwame Nkrumah. And JF Kennedy was assassinated because of his little information that, I wouldn't say little, his massive information that he was giving to Kwame Nkrumah about what the CIA were planning against him. JF Kennedy was for Africa's development. Until they saw him as a threat. So, woman Krofoye ni tia. Omo beba beji fahundie na die yehwehwe fi omo ho no omo mineral resource raw material yenya. So the best thing was to assassinate you. Into JF Kennedy ni kono ekunye no. It was orchestrated within the CIA and omo dikum JF Kennedy. And I'm so JF Kennedy told Kwame Nkrumah say, these people want to eliminate you. And Kwame Nkrumah touched on the tarmac of USA. JF Kennedy runs to him with an umbrella. Wow. You understand? Haile Selassie, Obia man in China, one sorry that Queen Elizabeth called Ethiopia, whatever it is, you know. King Selassie, oh, sorry. He was a king of himself. More or less, he had been touted as a king of Africa. Until he would not stand and embrace anybody. Kwame Nkrumah touched when the man stood up. That was the first time in the history of King Haile Selassie.
Was sorry.
Watina Konyum. Now Obia Baninchen was sorry. Kwame Nkrumah was unique, extraordinary, right? Now, Nkrumah n'hyehyɛ mu no. Na opese Africa ye gina baby a omo ombedi yeso no nyina behu say nkrofo yi say na they could do things wonders. Ma mention another example. China, they were part of the your friends the UN Security Council, but they didn't have power to vote at the time. Say veto whatever. No. It was Kwame Nkrumah who told the Security Council in the at the UN conference.
Yes.
And I'll catch you almost say, America, your population around the time, population of America was about, is it? I have to check and correct within those years.
Okay.
Your population is not close to that of China. You were hovering around 300 million or so. China is gearing towards 1 billion.
1 billion.
So how dare do you say that China has no power on the Security Council, permanent member on the Security Council? They said the Omoya Africans. No?
Yes.
That is what they were doing to China. It was Kwame Nkrumah's influence that China became a permanent member on the UN Security Council.
Wow.
And when he spoke, everybody was quiet. Kwame Nkrumah went out there. Whenever he spoke, everybody was quiet. abrofo no musro no. And let me tell you this, abrofo no as we see them today no, omusro be before. Omunim hwe. They have been able to use their brains to beat us to it. But se base yensu ade ani ehu anase yenya anwamade a be before we are number 1 omusro yen. Go to Britain, say akropo dey social media. What it says obi fi Ghana and obi fi Africa no call Britain and UK. Britain and I say be a US.
Yes.
Of course, I see wako biti omo nyina. I see Ghana for be science for omo ko biti.
True.
The reason is that ye sua ade no we internalize it. Omo na ho school no omo mpe. Omo ko school na few and they are pampered. Until ono one pon fi school no akotra fie no obia books. Dabi. Until obeko school no oraba obi san say 4 times so wonim. Obeko school no oraba obi san said 4 minus 2 onim. A few of them. Until they are not anybody. They are not superior to us. Bayana ya makoya gre say oh so kwa sorry na say oshia kwese bronia wo hunya me nti sign. Nti ade no it is a mental issue. And it is embedded in the black folks. Nti yema ye hu say omo ye papa chan ye. No, not at all. The omo dey assess your man nyina if Africa. Everything that has been used to develop US, Britain, etc. No, it is from Africa. 2008 omo credit crunch no. They leveraged themselves to come back on stream through Africa's mineral resources. And you see, Kwame Nkrumah wanted to avoid all these things. Say, young kasa, you be cry, no me be process and ya hold it. Silos akasiya no see, it was to hoard our cocoa beans so that we will sell it at our own price at lean season. If you want it, come and buy. Or catch you say, we would even burn the cocoa. Say, most mo person would determine price the Maya. Kwame Nkrumah had decided to set up a state gold refinery. Sanke setting up state gold refinery. And can sign agreement now since I asked Kwame Nkrumah Obano. Nina can gradually without away with it. Nanka state Nanka Sabe on state mining corporation. In fact, the state mining corporation was established. Until the money see a gold refinery, Western region, baby. It was 95% complete. It was for Ghana. But when you buy what to say I see gold refinery, it is not for the state. Private people who are behind it. Because in the Japadia document, they had planned everything. Say, by the time we leave office, we must ensure say all the financial pillars are in our family. Structure. Exactly the case. You understand? Into gold value chain, they have taken it. Oil value chain, essential see Tema, a new oil refinery. No? And yes, China for Nabesi or Mibu and Crawford Shechri into oil, gas, they have also taken over. They have taken over the insurance and the banking sector. Everywhere they have taken over. And you see, you try, now say, you can say, who name state capture. This is it. And this is even more dangerous because the rest of us are going to be servitude. Yeah, but serve more whilst they are in opposition. And the Abayani said it is not all the MPP people. A crew, just a few of them. I'm telling you. They have hijacked the MPP and they used their own people to, as it were, enrich themselves, leaving the rest of us to, to fend for ourselves. Meanwhile, 13.5 billion euro bond could have done so much for this country. Could have done so much. And now I am telling you, Sir Nkrumah Tiasia, Kaunda, onya 99 years. Sanka Nkrumah, onya 99 years, and Nkrumah 80 years. And na Sankana on Tigana Kuropa. Now, other African countries to say Guinea. And Nkrumah influence would have united Africa. In this whole world, it has never happened. Sir, you're too be as president of Nakonyaso. Now another country has offered, say, come and be a president in my country. Yes. And yes, sir, I'll resign as my presidency. I'll be. Wow. Yes. It has never happened in the whole world. 2. Kwame Nkrumah was and is still the only African president who was invited to mediate a fight and as a war between America and another country. Can you imagine? It has never happened on the African president. Your friend will say you are the most respected person. Not just most respected person, but the most powerful person. Go and mediate the war between America and Hanoi. Yes, mediation and all shasia, yeah, the palm, right? Again, history, the whole world, it has never happened. Kwame Nkrumah was the only and still the only president who was president in 2 states at the same time, because he was illegally removed. Yantu abam pamono. Obi and omo pamon fi omanimu. And once he assumed the presidency of another country, even as co-president, it means that he was a president in two states. Now, Kwame Nkrumah would have come back had it not been the nature of the cancer, right? Cancer, no how many course you before JB Dankwamo, those who funded the ammunitions, etc., to keep on bombing Kwame Nkrumah about 6 times assassination attempt, right? Into Kwame Nkrumah, Sanko Transikakra. And the person who would have brought him back, any Achampon. Because Kwame Nkrumah, Achampon would never have been enlisted in the police, the military. OPA, and late, when they called Roko into a buyer, they didn't want to pick him because their time, they didn't joke with it. Into a more year selection, normal for scrutiny, now on fee a barras appear into a buyer, no mashas. Until they didn't mind him, they told him that he was late. And Nkrumah no be who no be says, gentlemen, why are you sitting down there? And also say, and also what? And Nkrumah can check and say, if you don't enlist this man, the whole show will not happen. So it was as a result of Nkrumah's insistence, and they enlisted a friend, Achampo. Into Achampo owed a serious duty to Kwame Nkrumah. Into 7-year development plan and Edahono. Achampo nya kwanyano, and no better so. Now, the reason why Achampo organized the coup was to bring Nkrumah back. And so, when you our smart doctor, the late Dr. Francis Nkrumah, you wouldn't say, yes, sir, Uncle Shane Papa condition, it was too late. Too late. Until Nkrumah would have been back. But don't forget, Nkrumah could have fought back through the help of China and Russia. But the documents are there, Nkrumah telling them, say, I would not let one blood spill because of me going back to Ghana. They would have brought their tomahawk, etc., and landed on the soil of Ghana and you couldn't have stood the power of Russia. You couldn't have stood the power of China at the time. And they all worshipped Kwame Nkrumah. You understand? And don't let us downplay Kwame Nkrumah in our own country, where indeed other African countries, youth are studying. Almost she books said the various schools in Ghana be on our bookshelves to read, to know the truth. As we speak, University of Ghana, the political science in Noma, Obunsian Nkrumah, Omo Nkrumah keke. But we could have had books or on the shelves. And then the main political science is a friend of political science. And if we are going to go by that state, Africa will liberate ourselves. But Ghana, we are not ready to print them and put them on the shelf. Until the roadmap for developing Ghana and Africa, say, come back to Nkrumah's philosophy, it will never happen. Should you see balloting and Rechi? If it is true, in Nkrumah's time, it will never happen. Bibia no pe independence.
Mr. Na me baho, na ma baby sa say. Say eyade Nkrumah ti asese si ya. Ana ebiasa amemwe ye ekoso yi. Your friend is saying bloated register. Edi asem na nkobeka. Why Nkrumah yi si den asem na nkobeka so ti asese si ya.
Nkrumah ti ase ya. They are now Rollins more or less all year. Or chastise say your friend is saying Ura Tamils no matter man. Nkrumah would have sat back as a father of the country to ensure that the right thing would have been done. Nkrumah, a big rapper on a stretcher, that's a wheelchair at home, would have insisted that the right thing should be done. My man can be sure, Kaunda, any Mandela, almost several or more term, they were the deciders of the country's movement. Se bibichi o man so pa na se omu se parties no the oyenaba. They go to them, he will invite them as the father of the country. Na omo settle bibia. Indeed, it was the orders of these people who fought and liberated their countries. They were the people who were dictating the pace behind closed doors, right? Nkrumah would have had none of this uselessness at air course. If the tape actually is the truth, say ballot kekeo, ballot were swapped.
Yes.
And we all saw it. I am here to confirm, say I'm passing a see it is a sad event for Ghana. It tells you, say, consistently what the larger opposition has been preaching, say, these people are on their way to rig this election as they did in 2020. In the MBA, you know, this is the confirmation. Say, apen toto say mutete ho. Na ballot paper wo aye paper position say, wo better number one better. Enya the main election, and also ye wiemu, right? And it should tell you the mindset of the people who chose number one, but decided to trade it off. Of course, that person, contracts are horrible. 13th of this month, if I stand to be corrected, he has been given a whooping about $2 million contract at the ECG. Now one can win your way. You understand? So the system has become so corrupt. Not saying can say NDC or Songwu, but the corrupt attitude of the UP has come to a point where they have indoctrinated everybody. They go about their things trying to manipulate anything in this country. Anything political, they want to manipulate it. Anything mineral resources, they want to manipulate it. These are the group of people who went to the university to corrupt them at SRC meetings, other meetings. The UP will want to have a hand in it. Until if you look at them and also don't play by their game, I have consistently said, say, the 2020 election was won completely by the NDC. If they had been vigilant as they are today, or if they had the IT gurus as they have today, NPP couldn't have, stolen the 2020 election.
Mr. Seno, you better ho, and you segment or what and no ankasa there. You better the right you see any voter in summer aircosi. You come back to Nkrumah.
Right.
Look, I say education. Send any sin and so or mind Ghana.
It was his utmost priority. Entina Obayano was study the terrain of Ghana. I know who say northern part, they're from northern territory at the time.
Yes.
They were very says Otun for and say Okasa or say na yakofa mema kentinka at 10 gram every no. They had strength for some reason. Ghana, your northern part, no, any Burkina Hono, you won't go for Kintram, Wapao, at 10 gram. Papa. Now, Abrofuni, sir, into slave trade, no, they brought them from that point all the way and almost ship or more away. And during the slave trade, no, they pegged Nkrumah at 10 gram a Kintram.
Very strong.
Indeed, as we speak, when you go to the black Americans, you structure down your African, and no one who's a Siano. And almost selected to say, Okoto Akuko, and now Sabi Abuabi, na a more Kesiano, and a wee. And I say, Nkrumah, a Bia was Sabi, a Kramer be now pay, Kramer from an Ametino, na onena Awanya Sabani Bia, and a species in Bia. Ungo Fakamaki to have been Nkrumah would naturally go for a Nkrumah almost so, unless naturally you pay Nkrumah Kitty be just for your for upeta but under normal circumstances so ko tadi a wo hwe papa na wo mu no in this slave trade na eyi akentra mo na wo yemu ni nyina e na mo shipo omokoye ndi na akoka sem properwa, let me use that word advisably na ye wo Ghana enti the current situation and ye bobre no na nkente sa na yete in the sankrofo akentra mo we nyina na omo wo ho no they were the pillars of a fairness in this country. In Nkrumah who say they had been used. Apart from see ship or more win, you had one more Southern, you had one more Southern. No more bay swa gold mines, no. Those days ye acquire and ye na caterpillar casacas banu. Now you're the second any a so among ye quine. Into ye reacasia ye boo, ye actually be a Diana, over fro, no wako boo or so. They were using those people. Until that they were far behind in terms of education. Even South Africa education now because Abrofo no omo educate a few people, especially those who will serve them. And in Nkrumah I know the disparity was just too much. Until let me start by introducing free education starting from the north. Even at the time when the population here under 7 million, it was 6 point something. Now Nkrumah could have just done it wholesale. he decided to pilot it and make it progressively free. It was 30 no. In this 7-year development plan, now called education sector, you would see the difference of enrollment in our education compared to the colonial masters or so for centuries. You could see the difference. And Nkrumah made education as his number one priority. Indeed, free. Now people didn't want their children to go. They still wanted them to go to the farms. And there were a system of these town councillors from Tangas going around. Teachers were ordered to go around. And the Yamukropo Yabetu be say, won't go square. Ya won't profile assume teachers or monamu. Ya Beffiana say, woman school. The teachers, the Ombe Kenny Bassam. One go square, you do, mammy, exactly the case. And I'll call from one go square by a basho. And the system made sure, say, Obian education. And interestingly, Omo munim brofo kapano, Wagana hano, Usheni ye pano, 2 regions, the whole of the northern part, and a Fantifo. Right? Because Fantifo ne hona brofo no settle ye. And the northern part, Nkrumah deliberately ensured, say, they were going to school. Now, their money said their accent, they have a particular accent. Nice. And when they are speaking English, you understand? And so Nkrumah made education priority and made it progressively free down. Until last week, I have the document here on my phone. Nkrumah time of free education was setting up. Now is it Dowona? Ona now education minister also. Now UP Fuwe. They were no more kwan say. Na Nkrumah kra wo be say sika. Na e dey be free education. Why Nkrofo betumi atri am omonko. Na Nkrumah se munim de mo ye. Even in parliament when Nkrumah proposed say we must have our own airline. Nkrofo UP4 said that. Yeah, airline. American airline baha. France baha. British airline baha. Na airline and Nkrumah general parliament no say can you imagine seeing your own flag fly in the sky? You don't know what you're talking about. Or manya Kwame Nkrumah or person education and transcendent or small form of Kwabrocheko Suya aeronautical and this aviation no man to the point say Nkrumah finally now who say yeah we put the cargo ships right at the cargo ship buyer in Nkrumah no more cargo ship na or more money cargo ship no they were Ghanaians right and these Ghanaians na omoye no they did this to the best of their ability to the point say yeah we ship ahoro omo had been educated in Ghana. Pilot had been trained. They were educated in Ghana. Right? It was channeled through say your education should be scientifically progressive. And Nkrumah made sure say yankasa aeroplane ye beye wo ha. And say okọ afie nya ho no there was a training field bi wo ho as we speak wo ho concrete ya no tra na school no aviation school am said ho na na wo nti prototype of aeroplane kitenkete no na ye wo Ghana ha ship dry dock tema na ye si wo ha na on the education was not only in the form of subaltern classroom. There was skills being handed over to the people. Nti da bia me bisa say Ghana regions ni nyina ehim fa na ye mpaboa pa ba na ye fe anase ho amu na mu ni mpaboa ye pa obeka se Kumasi. Why is it so? Free so na better for mo. Enye Kumasi for no mu kire omo say de omo see ye o. Kwame Nkrumah handed down skills to them. Kwame Nkrumah set up a shoe factory there. And now was before say shoe factory, yes set it up no. No was some Nkrofo and they were being trained in Italy. Into omo go see shoe no ye fi Italy e buy no. They came to man the shoe factory. And in the course of producing shoe for Ghana, sporty. In fact, the Germany had placed order. Other countries had placed order. A bit more 3,000 pairs per month. And there were a lot of people there working. And the pamo no na adwuma no be gu ye no. Omo na omo ye adwuma ho mo se bo yanko trafie na yankasa yenye ye shoe ni kakra. Nti omo ko trafie omo ye no. Saa those days no ye di ofade ne noma. Nti wo fa oya ade no. Ne wo fa se mu nyina gu no ho. Obi ahwe or fire way to her, no most to us to say, division of labor. And it is through this system, no, Jumani Bukojo to Krano, Kumasi people that skills are munyaye from a few people who went to be trained in Italy and brought back to man the shoe factory no almost skills no more handing it down over no and then abedum pepesui Kwame Nkrumah set up the jute factory Japan area textile factory at Japan no see you trying to manual so since no omo ti area ho no omo kosesa no omo so omo adwan journey and then your friend sasawa entoma no apart from that omo so betwitwa na senketenkete na wo so no na omo aye sumue afi so omo de bi ye reef nti enam no kase wo ka omo ni reef ye any sumue ya it is that part of the region Sankan Nkrumah tiasia anka would have transformed that into sumue and can Ghana ye sumue papa export it yempa bo anka still ye export it to very bank uko America entade ne mpaboa papa na wo ho no enya America for na ye wo omo ye no Bangladesh and other Indian countries America for na sponsor franchise type monye into omo ya America for they have a ready market for it they buy it and send it to America into uko America na ko to t-shirt now the brew nipa ha menye waje say ye no ye wona dabi Bangladesh India Vietnam mo e no omo ye no Nkrumah hwe edana esi education na America no edana esi TV Africa nim ho no as see e dia ma India for ne nkrofo bi a omo de aye warehouse no no saa dan no e ho na ye produce t-shirt ahodo singlet papa now those days no machines and they produce your normal you have no idea even today our technology abano Ghana doesn't have that everything was being produced in Ghana your cars your bibia ninyina were through different forms of education skills acquisition plus book knowledge and education there FNA this time aba Nkrumah started STEM and yet Nkrumah made sure yourself skills acquisition was one of the most important things. In the Atomic Energy Commission, people were being trained already to come and work on the nuclear project. And by now, Ghana would have been the first country to have entered space. Those were the roadmap.
Mr. Tano, and the Onkomo in the me personally. Na mate Kwame Nkrumah se more and the factories are Kwame Nkrumah set it up and they say any over 50% that but 60% I collapse. Also say
you see the MA and I want to urge John Dramani Mahama and the NDC if they come to power that they should go back to revive some of the factories and Nkrumah is see. Chirabosom sabi sanka yese ye politics na osofu bi de ho abagim na CPP or J fa hodie ma o ma no wa contest election contest Chirabosom ba mu ba compare he was the third force.
Yes.
Why? Ask yourself.
Because no Jim Nkrumah niema no ye nidi.
Apart from that say ye Chirabosom kropa nka me ye Nkrumah is no na nka me nim say factories ne dosom bloso as we speak we can revive them. Here last month my agent be frame or can't so say me obi ton warehouse obi lease warehouse wo North Industrial Area North Kandeshi ho enti say no obi a ope bia na nka ma ka kire no no pese wo kwa kire me for some reason that's okay wo de mame nkohwe you never know chief last month pe me call North Kandeshi na me ko share one of the first warehouses in it is warehouse factory. A honor me who say Nkrumah's ideas no obia on the African continent and to no da only be obia you see what share da anymore na wa boto concrete this esi ho pame e da ne ye kunkron na wo hye mo say wa hye shape mu adjacent warehouse and a factory dan kasa bibisa me ho say so these things are on the grounds of Accra Ghana and a yediaba Indians, Lebanese for Abrofo, and Omo operate. Omo koto omo finished goods, no more diabegum. No more Tama Ghana for. A bimosu manufacture a womb. The any young Casayadia. One Kodesh, then they see who conclusano. It is one of the factories of Kwame Nkrumah. One Kodesh, no one Kodesh. Omo toy. Adiabakwan roll is a year man Jan up to date. The diversity implementation committee now set it up to load off the asset of and the factories that they thought or claimed that they were not functional, right? We Kodesh free war just in the 1990s year or 1990s. Perez Dome, I who Joel Junction. ehona na ye meat marketing board enti sebe anantwie ni nwan a ye kum no hygienic one ye process na ye toma Ghana for mo manya bia ni nyina na ye saa edan ni mu na meat marketing board ho na ye enam a obia ekokoto ndam Jolly Junction ho ya ton ye de aya asore na asore na wo ye no wo wi asofo na wo say mo amuni adwuma no anase mo amacho application no mo ma so da me bom pa ye nguso me one probably an ka ba bia ni pe menya adwuma ye no na waje a wo de ya asore go to North Canadian the industrial setup no bebre e yan sore nko a others are there bibia ye nya hwewom nti I'm urging this government led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Jena no Pokwaduma say nyame eye waduma omo bayi omo revive some of the factories and Nkrumah CC and they are very very viable and Kenya is it Kenya they have started manufacturing their own car tires one require young kasa so Kwame Nkrumah set up Bonsa tire factory but before so be set up no ye dua o ma ye dua rubber no manabroso tire produce Ghana hano it was the best quality across the globe ye were good year ye were Dunlop ye were Pereri ye were one the different types of tires aba Ghana de no na yes you are localizing no edini bi ye kerafi no what they call you say house customer e kire say denden ade mu odin pa enti yanka say ye produce ye tires na Ghana ha other West African countries no omba be tires na they call and then you can home use ties. One require tire factory, no, we could revive it. We can revive the tire factories. And Nkrumah, your tire retreading factory, and this our car and a tire no area. Say about home use and about for what they buy Nkrumah tire retreading factory or Muji no more Sunday woman for Afa. This time China for India for or more year and haphazardly no more swabre who because say you and so you would question tires here or car tires here not a pie. And to Kwame Nkrumah's factories can still be revived to boost the economy.
Thank you, Mr. Tano. Jina na famame na afi yenda ni yeho FM Brasses ya na yembra ni meto adwuma so ha ye power 97.9 FM and a TV SYZ DwaboAse dwumadie ana wasugu so utie no medi de enka Obrempong me na medi dwumadie ho chiame yeda ni yeho aba na ya to aso.
Amani ya maya ayo enyo ya ne wom ya paso biaba DwaboAse bi na asambia wo bia mu oka na mama ne ye kunsum yemfa mu mai motrobodo yemfa mu mai mosempa
clinic. I experienced our sauna. Almost sauna. Now, detoxifies the body, massage, physio with machine treatment, laboratory services. Opesa we lab. About your way in a health alert clinic. Every morning now, I feel woman to me. I am out. And that day, I hear a for few day, and ne health alert clinic. Eddie Jumedia Slunkubi, Ejinem, the Dendi and a paper, and Yasam Ketwa. Health alert clinic, so main country, Munram. Baby Biaro, Biawati and Camp. Say, and ne aye Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day, aye celebrity, almost ye free screening. Eddie Ama Obi Biara or mine Ghana ha, a free screening. A Day 23rd of September 2024. Ashasi, I mean, Ashasi that. From 7 p.m. and Kwapim said 7 a.m. Sorry, and Kwapim said 5 p.m. Ebebo. Udu Wanuma, Ubera OPD where a free. Labs are a free. Consultation a free. Scan on the free amount. Say we here. Say what someone yes scan. And for my now for treatment be a bit say ulcer, malaria, typhoid, STD, syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, UTI. Abdominal pain, fibroid, menstrual disorder, ovarian cyst, PCOS, etc., diabetes, cholesterol, high blood pressure, any yard one kid to a beer a hinta, ewo nipedium, na no tete wana wuntimi nya, any gem fair more bra. Bomadina Shannon say unya a ya aquanya inch the mubia, Oberfrey Health Alert for our numbers here so 0242 518 893 0242 518-893 and answer 0242-518-865. Na fe bibi biara wo ye no wo matimi abomodin ajo so no maboa wa hodim na ne ye wo health alert for e wa ha wo mo ba bebo ye nchiremu oba kiki fefefe kama pama oba pa na wo te san no pe sawa
oh te say no pe obi etio no, Nkrumah is obi etio. And topic na mu treating so very very good. No say you found that there were more brands here was say you kind of bibia. Honorable so abon homodin pa. Mesua de bebre me ba nyina na metie no.
Nice one.
Why are they? Now Obrempong, let's go straight to what we have for our listeners this morning. Yeda must say yeda Max Power FM and TSYZ ashofo nyina ase na ene anope de ekoswa na the two jano won say you found that Osajefo Kwame Nkrumah enya afa hodie di maaye no Ghana for ene ne ye nyina ye de asi was 21st of September biara
kiki me ba mayembo health alert for mo free screening jingle no enfema me ento adwumadi no so nti bajo boma me na afi ye ento adwumadi no so
Rabunin say eye Martina Pokuase Kasua Asamai anase asimfosu so wo yade how be to say ulcer, diabetes, bleeding pulse, prostate disorders, menstrual disorders, urinary tract infections, erectile dysfunction, sexually transmitted infection anase infertility in men and women me pato tuturika bra health alert free health screening yibi tumadi yi sanin so say OPD card free laboratory test say ye je wo tunso age wo mojade fam ahunu de how free massage treatment and also so free ne wohia sika kuma bia wo de baje wunduro baso Monday anopa no son ekosi anwumre no num nsechiremu bia frɛ 0242 518865 ana 0242 518893 health alert free health screening ye kono heba
it is a sia to aso fama jenga na nyato
a free hair screen na yenso ye edia kai Dr. Kwame Nkrumah the obey the ma Ghana mine enti se wuti yenka anopay efa power 97.9 so anasa wo share ewo TVXYZ baby awo bia ya branches ni ato ahete wo krom ha babia ye wo pokwase goy ekoso won so bedru ho ne ye bonnwum wo ho ye sitent wo ho nkrofo wo ho mesra brantam amai holiday se wo pesa wo ne abusuafo no so ko babia matimi akọ Madina ye wo Madina post office behind behind the First Atlantic Bank ubedru ho no so ne ya botent wo hahye nkonya wo ho kama enyum enso so koso fro nebra na oba a doctor for na nurses for no ya krado say ye be show ye wo Ashaiman ye wo opposite the Queen's Hotel so wo free Ashaiman Secondary School besin akọ station wa obon say ye signboard etisa so wo ekwan no ho sa in the media no baby a signboard no besi no eho na health alert clinic ye wo intimate ye number no egu screen no so 0242518865 0242518893 uduka so anso ye wo main road ho wa fro overhead kakraka no na wu sane no ubehu say ye signboard kakraka esi ekwan no ho hwara mesra menkwa baabia wonfa ka wonfa moto baabia ye kire wi nyina no ubedu post office a wonfa ka wonfa moto pokwase for wonfa ka wonfa moto amomole John Tai for mo amufi amasaman mo amufi ablekuma mo nyina mo ba pokwase goyal filling station so wo free amasaman na eba wo si oba stop a wo befa overhead no na wa cross wo si anu asande wani ahwete senka wo bankran no Goy filling station no kwan ho hwa ehwara na yewo afen so mo asin fosu no yewo asin fosu police barrier ho edan a fesi kwan no no ehwa na health alert clinic wo into dia wayira kra no so obi nkyere asin fosu police barrier ye numbers na ye didi ejuma ni 0242518893 0242518865 na Obrempong enyuma ye hwe enei ebinie yeah, baby, say obi or chronic conditions, but say diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, sexually transmitted infections. Obi a wakwakodim pasu grow na ansaya na nije wo kromu kakran to wakwakodim pasu grow bi na wa mo ho ban na se wakwakotete sam pasu grow ya rie bia yesre enne enu ti na ye free health screening no nyame adom ya je ho abaso bode bebre ye fa yare bi ti se ulcer de krom ha akola kra ya wo na fe no wadi 1 week nim se health alert clinic na empempi na ya na nkrofo se made bia metemu advert no nanso fa me kono ebi ni ho enu ti na ye free screening no ene OPD card ye njiska free labs a obe run e fiti kodo ho be pem ene nyina na ye free ene sa wo ba na sa wo condition na sa ye twa wo scan so a ene ye be ya ama wa free ena afei nsoso no oba bibi kakra bia odi beji aduro pe enti o ka sa bia mintimi miniska bia bi o ha meye me labs meye OPD na sika na sa mini bia me de beji aduro emre ni ene 23rd of September and a holiday into what me nka wo ma mi bi yare papa bi yare wo ba bi yare sika e wonu ho no enso said you betimi dia akọ ayaresha and the health alert clinic here free health screening into ma fa ne hunjim I started 7 a.m. ya ebo 4 pa ya pom into me sure baby a free baby no ma wanamo no enya ntientia wo Madina post office Kaswa ye bend the MTN na ewo main road ye signboard kase esi kwan ho eye Walantu junction udu pokwase so eye pokwase goyal filling station wa emfa moto emfa ka nko ba bia ye bokwan no ho hwara asinfosu police barrier Ashaiman ye opposite the Queen's Hotel jinambes ni bio ebia na wo ba wayira wo hu ba bia obefa eye 0242 518893 0242518865 Obrempong Health Alert Clinic. Yes, let's go. Heba.
No cry. Kiki no cry no me show am who's free health alert amba. The one who's on.
Oh really?
Now looking bright.
Someone who say Obrempong ade ne de say mo ana mo ya e wo se nipa ne hu a show wo mo ho. O ye ntimi nko sabio enkoton ehwempon adro bra ya kasa so ye hwene apon. What you say? Into be pie na was here who say you are coming from a health facility. One kasa so no who see
Oton e wadro wa kem. Na oton microphone na e wati si ni so. O ma man nsi ankokola say.
Enti anu an so obeka say adesima ni kai mu. Na just say wa pe ba bia fa.
Na ayeboko. Kiki ya dase.
Ya dase Obrempong.
Somebody say nipa bebre asase a.
Nyame adom.
Inti dia first thing ade many people
na wo so wa wonim say abato mrem so woni apom dia wontimi nkoto
obede na wato
sebe wo ho dodo a obesi dan sore kra na wakwa kire wo dode ama nipa kra pesa wo to ma no enti akwanya nini brasa ye massage abra na beji ni free na ye njiska eye su na abra na be sha machine mu bio na ye njiska detoxification abra na be ye bi ni ye njiska na pa ho ada ben na pa ho ada be bia no betia bibia enti kakra bia de beji adro pe na yes it's 0242 518865 0242 518893 health alert clinic. I say let's go herbal.
Me da say kiki me da say bebre say obana obekire tiefo ani ahwefo nyina say enne no de mo ye free health screening enti no woni scan for labs consultation scan any a friend say OPD card bibia ni enne de health alert for mo ye free na mom ye hwe wi a na enusem be ma kakra bi ekita obi anso ubetimi anya akwanya ne ama onu akofia konom e de asa wo ho yare kiki ye da ase pa ene anopai abusia ye to na yakoso e de ama ye Franco Trading Enterprise abusia na bradia ye smartphone ana abaso a obi agibi no de di juma ope se ubewura internet no mo se obemu modern na WhatsApp yi wonso watimi anya bia na ye smartphone na Ghana hadia metimi de mensasime bo aka kire wo se baby bako a se wo bo modern yi ade wani kire ekoto wo phone ana any electrical gadget a be ba cho wo nu hu da eye Franco Trading Enterprise Franco se wo bo modern be du omonchan a omo Nokia, Samsung, iPhones, smart TVs if it 32 inches and copper 100 inches. One more thing be omo Franco air condition. And also ranging from 1.5 horsepower, 2.0 horsepower, 2.5 horsepower. I want to borrow them. What you mean? Baby biara, o pese what chilling na yenua. About your one when you bet me aje, no one who say yes. More chest freezers, I feel more refrigerators. I know you know so no set to me kabia ebebo ye pa. Enemrem yan sheda momode em panishi yan wusi ebesi niema. Momode na ko Franco Trading Enterprise. Omo washing machine. Wode oni emegu ma beti hwi na esi achimu wayiyi and ya hata hamaso. Afa CCTV cameras. I no monitor videos I can home anytime anywhere or a display on screen so now who the aquaswa ewo fie after easy configuration IP64 weatherproof high reliability and all other mobile phone accessories the battery Franco Trading Enterprise and abetmenyabe but money national so say who contact here through social media platforms are your man 40% discount I will be biara better every and digital platforms no so but money na friend one number see so Franco Trading Enterprise na fe phone bia we here laptop biara we here na yemfa no mo 0555 939 311 0555 939 311 and I say 0246 422 338 0246 422 338 and now bet me download a Franco Trading app no I want a App Store and I say Google Play Store na fair honso what me near the shemu na bibi biara etimi aye kama and I visit your website francotrading.org www.francotrading.com Franco Trading Enterprise or see still from papa if you let's talk education consult. Let's talk educational consult and you do I'm sure one more banka ya edi ama wofo ahwefo a wo mo fra wo mase a wo mo pese wo nko school enya nimdie pa entim fe mo mabrabo mo man Ghana enti awofo mo ye ready ana ahwefo moaboaboa mo ho se mo be ma mo ma ne daache pa eba no ho masua mu ani abrabo pa mu dia ani na ba bi ba ko pe na make am for dia ma ho so do ani be kire let's talk educational consult Bomadi national so So let's talk Educational Institute. Hey, all round school with no vacation. A free a year Montessori. Yes, Montessori. And a year IENDEC curriculum. Being you know, by Baba Modenia, the Wafe Moha. 84 Banabra. And the year. Not for Branaba, you're part of Let's Talk Educational Consult family, you know. Abomodina do weekend I Saturday. One Momodia Emma Mofrano Asia Enipa very resource. One Quadari Adisiamo, one Mobua, Na Mofrani Timmy who Nim dear pie betting me abo my bravo, Memene de Biara. Program say Let's Talk Educational Consult. Entrepreneurship of a public speaking, technology and art. But when you know, don't be left out. But my name for Banako. One more, not obey. If it's 6 months, I cop him. I have 6 years. I'm a Belgian. Let's Talk Educational Consult. Now, if you're to me, I'm building it actually. Eddie Amano. Shannon Superman may say, Let's Talk Educational Consult. I will test it Nkrumah Estate, Mango Street in the so, but more than a from one number so. Then the movie I will pay on Fendomo 0249 069 821 0249 069 821 and I say 0249 069 okay 821. Now let's talk educational consult. Moi and your mano and momo. And yet Nimdia Pa, I bet me aboa normal dachi as you ye. Power FM. Abusenti yakwa na yane daitesa ampofo atwetwe nkomo ofi Let's Talk Educational Consult. Yanko tie nembra.
Education a best investment, oh papa. Education a best investment, oh mama.
Kwame, good morning. You may have to pardon me for my voice today.
Hey, Madam Time Bomb to me, so soon. As an great was Hebra. I deal with you and say, never wow. Anyone crunch, a can't be. And I will be saying, many year day, because you remember, I remember. These things are critical.
Yes, they are part.
Time for my after all, so be some street. Also, yeah, no. But you made me realize, but I can't be, but when so your day, a sombo. So thank you so much, Madam Time Bomb.
And as someone came or draw to what we are going to talk about, Anepe, because when you empower women, it goes everywhere.
Wow.
It's time for educational time bomb.
That's right.
Now, time bomb when yes, that's why we are here this morning, every Monday morning.
Yeah.
Now, yetone, here education to the public, obi priority. And so, a lovely good morning to you watching me. Waka Sacha. Now I know that you're seeing me this morning, oh baby, and thank you for being part of the program. Now, Mamenda production team is also, I think pushing it from an angle also works, and they've done their best to, from Desmond to my fighting partner.
The
controversial. I appreciate it when you know. And then let's say that this show is brought to us by Let's Talk Educational Consult. Now, Let's Talk Educational Consult will test you Nkrumah Estate. And a patient in Mango Street in the door. We are 5 houses away from Lejokuko Municipal Assembly, and we ensure that it's a place that will open up for more from one entity, and showing that as if we are building the foundation in the sense that we believe that say to me put Yama together for Afraba within the early years on and whatever travel to 180 years, and it will help them grow. And so that's what we do. You use Montessori and INDEC educational program near the church in Mofamade. Now, a church of one was a chairman from there when the doors are open for the kids to come in. When they get to the doors and open the gate, saying bye-bye to parents even becomes a funny aspect because they want to walk in and meet teachers and then teach them. Each other at now the compound is also why in the needs we're prepared in such a way that after working when you're there we'll walk into a second home. And so Let's Talk Educational Consult will say that admission for Obabra na engine and na Mofama between 6 months to 10 years and a yet yes Busumisia and a yet to one zakapim 10 years now you release one into the world. Oh come here you see, yeah, funny there. Yanama from Nkrumah Abazani Ebetron. But carefully there, the man from Dawanando is trying to learn from you to become that human being that you want that child to be. Into the Sawaba, we take them through language, that is Kasa. On Kasa, but the reading aspect of it, the singing aspect of it, the sensory aspect of it, that's the sensorial, learning colors, shapes, and numbers, because the main when it comes to one science and math, so we can't take it out. The more sooner we ensure that we do numbers, especially counting, identifying it, playing around it, and the most important aspect is getting the child physically and cognitive developed. And so make her physically and cognitive what they are crawling so miss more besoazim miss more on sample because so far base 3-4 years not the one so pencil day. It's wrong. It's wrong. And so the child needs to be guided and all that. And it starts from home. And so if we say that from 6 months to 10 years, you put a child there, a family development, here. And so if you do it and you do it well, it will help you to have a better future. And so I always say that early childhood education a priority. I mean, our future is well secure. And I always say the future is not tomorrow, it's not years to come, but it's tomorrow, which is Ochana, because day in and day out, Afraban Orinian, and that's what we are looking out for. And when you take kids and you are developing them, you ensure that 80% out of them are well prepared and groomed. That is what we as warrior. But in here, no subject fracture, we hardly value early childhood education. That is a more for kids and kids. But that is where if we put value to Yendache, that will draw me to end the discussion.
That's right.
I always say that I appreciate the mothers in a very small way because in our mindset we feel that our mothers are women, that's their role, that's what they have to do. And if they are doing it, it's normal, it's nature, it's natural. But then let me draw our attention to the fact that if we empower them and empower them more, and come on, minorizi. So if I spend a month to 5 months with fee, that's a 6 months was an hour. Between that 5 months, any woman out there needs to be empowered to take care of that child. In the care when their mothers love, they nurture, they empower, and they continue to repeat day in and day out. And so, Seritema, care when there. Let us learn how to teach our mothers to be role models. To be a role model is not just make career. Using it to show a child to learn, but to be a role model in the way we carry ourselves, because kids funny learn how to respect through our parents, and that is through mothers. And to say in one for baby or respect her or yaza ways you feel mommy ho in one for baby or show kindness or yaza ways you feel mommy, because the mother set up as a role model.
That's right.
My many child say, oh mommy or child do, oh mommy as a mention, then the child starts learning from there. It's in it will remember word child and all that. Masa they didn't learn it from anyone, they learned it from the mothers who keep them and train them. And so if I say that they should be role models, I'm looking out for being kind, showing respect, understanding, encouraging others, and that is the kind of role model we are looking out for. Because Kwame, we are looking at the world and we are chasing the world in such a way that here if you respect, here if you kindness, here if you understanding, here if emotional connection, and so we need to ensure and empower women in that form. And then we also have to encourage them. Encouraging and supporting them, is providing them emotional support. And so we say that the men wash and will value, but women want to listen. So how do we empower them through emotional? We need to encourage them and value them. To you might be normal, but spend one day doing it and you know that it is not easy. And so value them by saying that it is actually from my address one papa and there's anyone customer menu oh me of that. You value them through your words. A man lost his job and he's a white man and came to spend 2 weeks in the house. Also normally okay juma or sunny singlet. Or be feel so such another one in a day or two.
Yeah.
But when he lost his job and had to be home and take care of the kids, Obi wonder what is going on. I mean, my friend on this minute. What did you it's about what's on that one friends on that was the stress for him. Every 5 minutes, every minute he has something to do. And he's been wearing that particular singlet, and your friend singlet as in underwear. Washing for a week. Why? Because on pedo beshe tutu so that laundry basket and yama. No, I wash. So he's really regarding his wife and appreciates us more queen put the wild bread and you feel you. Hi darling, how are you? I'll be man a picture. No, I don't say into putting himself in near any shoes. And so we need to appreciate them through words. And in myself, I thought wild bread throughout the day. Let her know I appreciate you for what you are doing. Darling, I see you. That is you empowering the woman. And then equal opportunities. I know that it is difficult. But sometimes at a point we need to provide some equal opportunities so that the woman can ensure and build any interest. Like ni diploma, ni degree, ni masters. It gives them an opportunity that opens up for them to be fulfilled. Into another it's a different ball game altogether, and we need to ensure that because it builds confidence as well. And then last but not least, mental resilience. Share depression or a thin line between whatever that we are doing a lot, because after birth you ask yourself a lot of questions. I was once a career woman, me that to what the mission from me because me put one that she can say